Kia ora everyone, welcome back. Day 103 and I nearly lost the ability to trade. After a string of losses, my account dipped below the $200 threshold, which meant I'd be locked out until I could fund it again. So I took one last shot and it came down to the final 3 trades. Here's how it all played out. So at the start of the session, I saw YMAT pop up and I thought recent IPO, maybe it'll push higher, come back down and rally. So I jumped in this, not here, I woke up late actually, to be honest. I was behind the 8 ball right from the start. I woke up late, I was there just after 7 o'clock. I came in and saw this as it sort of rallied up here and then started pulling back. And I thought, well, if it holds down here on the 20 EMA, I'll jump in. So it held on the 20 EMA, it pushed back up here to about, what's that, nearly $6, just over $6. And I took my entry here at 575 with 50 shares. So just above the 20 EMA, which is the purple line there. So I took my entry there, it pushed up to about 590, but I didn't take it off the table. I was thinking it would push back through VWAP, do this sort of thing. Didn't do that, pulled back. This is where I should have got out. So when it hit 550, that was definitely an exit. I didn't take the exit as it pushed back up here, and I thought, oh yeah, now it's gonna rally. It didn't, it kept pulling back. And once again, it gave me the opportunity to get out around 550 as it pushed back up here. And I still didn't take it. And then it just kept going down, and eventually I was forced out at 489. Nearly $1 a share down on that trade. So took a decent loss on that one. That was $43 down on that trade, where it should have been, a loss of maybe $8 or $9, really. Yeah, so not a good start to the night, and that sort of set the tone for the night. After that, it got worse, actually, to be honest. Next stock I traded was ONCO. So this one here had been pretty strong, actually, up until about 10 to 7, and then it sold off. I was looking for it to rally back. It was starting to show that it was pushing back up here, but I said the other day to myself, I shouldn't be taking trades below VWAP. If it's not early in the move, then I shouldn't be taking it. I should wait until it comes back to VWAP and actually breaks VWAP. Not so bad if it's like just popped, just the news is broke and it's coming back down from its first push. But these ones here where it's been grinding up all day and then has come back down, I shouldn't be taking this trade at all. I should be waiting for it to actually push right back up through here before I actually take any entries. But I didn't follow that rule, and I thought I was getting in early for the push back up. So I got in at 478 and here on this green candle, as it sort of confirmed that it was going to go, but it failed. At least though, I got out straight away. I was in at 478, out at 462, so only an $8 loss on ONCO. So not that bad. And then it rolled over and I moved on to PAPL. So PAPL, where's my trades? Here they are. This popped up just after 7 as well. I missed this move here. I didn't see that, it was pulling back again. And so I felt more comfortable getting in on this a bit earlier as it held the 20 EMA. I got in around at 404 here. It did push up to around 415, but I was looking for it to break back through VWAP. So it didn't take it off the table there. Held, it dropped down to 387, so I stopped out. So that was a $9.35 loss. So once again, not bad, not a bad stop. It was a good exit there, getting out early. But the thing was is that when it did confirm, I should have got back in. So as it broke back up here over the 9 EMA, this is where I should have been entering. Even on this pullback here, held the 9 EMA, and at 394 would have been a good entry for the push through VWAP. Even taking the break of VWAP would have been okay for the push to 460. But I didn't, I held, I waited for the pullback was a bit deeper than I was expecting. So I got in here at 417 on the 9 EMA. It dropped back down to about 4, and I took my exit at 407, probably a little bit early. I probably could have held that a bit longer. But what I should have done is actually got back in here as it started to push back to VWAP. Re-enter here at 410 or something like that, then for the push back up to 440. But that was only a $5.50 loss. So 2 red trades on PAPL. And it's just a little off most of the morning actually. Finding hard to find my sync with these stocks. Then I jumped into ENSC. So ENSC popped up at 8 o'clock, pulled back. It did have news, I think, as well, but it just didn't hold. Not very well anyway. I jumped in here at 271, way too early. Hadn't confirmed. It had a bit of a buy up here, but yeah, hadn't confirmed that it was going to turn. And you know, these trades here where I'm buying these falling knives into the 9 EMA, you know, it's like counter trend trading, where I shouldn't be doing that. I should be waiting for confirmation that it's actually holding this level. So pulled back down here. I got out at 238. I did think it was going to rally back to VWAP, but I just, yeah, I was already down. I should have been out, you know, as soon as this dipped down to here and came back up. That should have been out at 261, you know, around this level here, 261, 265 on this candle. So that should have been where my stop should have gone out, and then I could have gotten in back in here as it started pushing up higher. I eventually got back in here at 245 and held. I didn't take the exit here at 263. I did have an exit sell price in at 268, I think. And by the time I shifted it down to 263, it was too late and it dipped. So I held looking for maybe another push back up to 260. It didn't come. And basically I held for a long time, what's that, 40 minutes or so. I held that trade and eventually got out at 236. So the first trade I took on ENSC was a loss of $26, and then the second trade was a loss of, what was that, $7.20. So not a lot really lost on either of those trades, but I had traded I'd taken 6 trades by now, and all of them added up, ended up dropping me below dropping me below, pretty close. Was it below? I think it did drop me below the $200 threshold at this stage. I think this is where I just dropped below the $200 threshold. I don't think you actually see it in here. Yeah, so no, I was on the brink of crossing over the $200 threshold. But with fees, I was under the threshold. So what I did was I thought, I'll see if anything else pops up, and SNGX popped up. So SNGX was really my saviour, and I only traded it at the start of the open. It kept going. It went up to 540, and I only traded it very, very early on. In fact, my first trade on it was a red trade, a loss. So at the open, it sort of pushed up and pulled back. I was looking for it to hold around 170, and I got in there at 177. It pulled back just below 170, and I stopped out at 169 here. So it was probably a little bit early. I probably could have held that a little bit longer to see if it rallied, but it had hit my stop. My stop was 170, and it dipped below that, so I took the stop straight away. So I stuck to my rules pretty tightly there, which was okay. But the one good thing is once it started to rally, I did get back in. I got in here at 172, nice entry on this little dip here, pullback, micro pullback on this green candle. It then pushed back over the previous candle, 177, hit 178, and then pushed. And I got out way too early on this push. Basically, I had a target in mind, and it was around 195, 192, somewhere around there. The ask hit 195, and I pushed the sell button. I got filled at 192, and yeah, so that was a decent trade on SNGX, and that gave me a profit of $20. So that sort of pushed me back over the $200 threshold, but only kind of just. I still needed to, I got my calculation wrong actually too. What I'd calculated was what I kind of needed to get, and I should have taken it at $2 or $2 I think was the calculation, where that would put me over enough, over the $200 threshold to keep my account with the fees included. So I got that kind of wrong, so I took another trade, and I was in here on this pullback here. It was a bit of chop in here really, but I got in there, decent entry around 210. It dipped down to 208 and then pushed up to 221, and I took my exit. Oh, it pushed up to 223 actually. I took the exit at 221. So that was 11 cents a share and a profit of $9.45 with 90 shares. So, and that's where I kind of ended it. It pulled back down here. 10 o'clock sort of my cutoff for trading anyway. Basically that's where I stopped trading, mainly because I have to go to bed to get up in the morning to go to work. So I didn't actually see it rally up here and hit a high of 545. I only saw that this morning when I got back up. And I don't know. I did think about taking another trade on it, but as it, I thought about jumping in again here as it pulled back to 210 to see if it rallied and get in this one here. But as it pushed up, I didn't get in and I was too late, and then I felt like I'd missed the move. I felt like this was the front side of the move, and then when it started pulling back, I felt like that was going to be the back side of the move, and then it would, it would fail. So, yeah. That's what I told myself anyway when I went to bed. It didn't do that at all, but that's the way it goes. Yeah, it actually was really strong throughout that morning in the open session. So, yeah, really good. The bot, on the other hand, didn't do so well. Initially, it didn't do so well. ENSC, it lost $26. Took a loss on ONCO, $8, and PAPL, it took a loss of $9.35. SNGX, again, was the saviour. It made a profit of $146 on SNGX. Just shows that if it's a strong stock, the bot works well. If it's not a strong stock, the bot will get chopped up in choppy stocks or stocks that won't hold over VWAP. And basically, the bot works when it's strong and it's above VWAP. It doesn't like trading below VWAP, but if it's hovering around VWAP, sometimes it just gets caught up in that chop. So that's something that I might have to work on the bot. So today I had a red day, down $77.59. So I'm still just above the threshold, I think. I think I worked that out correctly, so I'll be back again tomorrow to trade, but it was pretty close. 9 trades, 7 red, and 2 winning trades. So accuracy was terrible at 22%. Risk reward ratio wasn't that bad. It was around 1.96. But, with an accuracy that low, that's not good. And at least 2 of these trades were ones that I should have taken a profit off the table, and I don't think they would have made me green overall, but it would have lessened the blow. Yeah. So at the end of the month, 13 green days, 6 red days, but once again the red days were just too big and ended up down, P&L for the month was negative, negative 420. There's more fees to come off that, 474 too. So not a good month in the end. It started really well. I was up, what was I up? Over 200. I was up over 250. On the month, but that big red day here last week really destroyed my month, really. And then I sort of spiraled a bit. The next day I had a big red day, had a couple of small green days, but then another big red day. Small red day here, really small profit day there, 680. That probably ended up being red after 5 trades of fees. And then today, another big loss as well. So really got lots of things to work on and really need to reset my my mindset, I think, because at the moment it's obviously not in a very good space. Didn't help that I got up late and overslept. I was pretty tired though. So maybe not trading when I'm tired would be a good idea. So this session was all about survival. I was completely out of sync, but I tightened things up towards the end and found a way to stay funded. Yeah, lesson learned, cut the early losses, stay patient and don't let desperation cloud good decision making. I'll be back tomorrow. hopefully to fight again. If you're following the journey, hit that subscribe button. It's not always clean, you know, but I'm showing up every day, win or lose. I will see you tomorrow. Hei a popo.